If you're moving to the Temecula Valley and trying to decide between Temecula and Murrieta, you may actually be asking the wrong question. Because after helping families relocate here for years, I've learned that most people don't choose a city, they choose a lifestyle. And often the best fit isn't determined by where you live in Temecula or Murrieta, it's determined by which part of town you choose. Welcome back to Love to Live in the Temecula Valley. I'm your host, Catherine Materiali. Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss weekly updates on life here in the Temecula Valley. This is one of the most common questions I get from people moving here from San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, Northern California, and out of state. Which is better, Temecula or Murrieta? The answer surprises people. Neither. They're both great cities. The real question is which one fits the way your family actually lives. Whenever I help a relocating family, there are 5 questions I ask. Where do you need to commute? How much time are you willing to spend in the car? What's important to you about schools? What kind of neighborhood environment feels like home? And what amenities will you actually use? Those answers usually determine where someone belongs far more than a city boundary. At a high level, Temecula tends to feel busier. It's where you'll find Old Town, wine country, more restaurants, more entertainment, and more visitors. Murrieta tends to feel more residential. It's quieter overall, less tourist-driven, and feels more neighborhood-focused. Neither is better, they're just different. Now, here's where I think people make a mistake. They compare Temecula and Murrieta as if each city feels the same throughout, and that's not true. Let's start with Temecula. Because one thing many relocation buyers don't realize is that North Central and South Temecula can feel very different from one another. South Temecula is easily one of the most requested areas by families moving to the Temecula Valley. It's known for its rolling hills, beautiful views, strong sense of community, and convenient access to wine country and Old Town Temecula. It's also located within the Great Oak High School boundary in many areas, which is a big draw for some families. Another advantage is that it's the closest part of the Temecula Valley to San Diego, which can make a noticeable difference if you're commuting south. Central Temecula, generally around the Rancho California Road corridor, offers beautiful hills, scenic neighborhoods, and communities with amenities. It has a strong community feel, convenient access to shopping and restaurants, and you're still relatively close to both wine country and the freeway. For many people, Central Temecula strikes a nice balance between convenience and lifestyle. North Temecula has a very different feel. The terrain is generally flatter and it tends to feel busier because it's close to the promenade area, major shopping centers, grocery stores, restaurants, and everyday conveniences. While it may not have the same quiet feel as some parts of South Temecula, and many families, they still love it because everything is nearby and daily errands are incredibly convenient. Now, let's talk about Murrieta. West Murrieta is often the second most requested area overall behind South Temecula. It has a quieter feel, beautiful views in certain areas, and neighborhoods like Copper Canyon, Bear Creek, and La Cresta. Many people describe it as having more of a small town feel, despite being close to everything. If someone tells me they want a quieter lifestyle, views, and a strong neighborhood feel, West Murrieta is often one of the first areas we explore. Central Murrieta feels like classic suburban living. Convenient shopping, parks, schools, restaurants, and easy access to daily necessities. It's very practical for day-to-day life and offers a wide variety of neighborhoods at different price points. East Murrieta feels newer in some areas, more open and less established than West Murrieta. It often appeals to buyers who want newer homes, and it's frequently considered alongside Menifee and Winchester because of the similar feel and price points available in certain neighborhoods. One thing that surprises people is how different all of these areas feel from one another. I've had families tell me they wanted Temecula and ultimately realized West Murrieta was a much better fit for their lifestyle. I've also had families start their search in Murrieta and eventually realized South Temecula checked more of their boxes. That's why I spend so much time learning how a family actually lives before recommending specific neighborhoods. Now let's talk traffic. People often ask me, if traffic is that bad? I think a better question is, where do you need to go and what time do you need to be there? Temecula primarily revolves around the I-15. Murrieta offers access both from the 15 and the 215, depending on where you live. The freeway traffic is usually what people notice most, not the everyday street traffic. And often a neighborhood that's strategically located for your commute can dramatically improve your quality of life. Schools are another major consideration. And before I go any further, I always encourage families to do their own research using resources like Great Schools, Niche, the California School Dashboard, and by speaking directly with schools and districts. But one thing I encourage families to think about isn't just ratings, it's fit. What does your child enjoy? What are they passionate about? For example, Vista Murrieta is often known for its football and band programs. Murrieta Valley has a strong reputation for robotics. Mesa has a beautiful art center and pathways for students interested in medical careers. In Temecula, Great Oak is frequently associated with athletics and has long been known for cross-country and sports programs. Chaparral is often recognized for football, and Temecula Valley High School is another major option for families that they should explore and research. Those interests can absolutely impact where you decide to live. Another topic that comes up frequently with relocation families is support for children with special needs or children on the spectrum. I've worked with families who specifically researched the Temecula Valley because of the resources, support systems, and opportunities available here. If that's important to your family, I strongly encourage you to connect directly with the districts, schools, local organizations, and parent groups so you can determine what best meets your child's specific needs. Let's talk about housing. Both cities offer everything from entry-level homes to luxury properties. Temecula generally has a higher price point overall and more luxury inventory. You'll find luxury opportunities in Wine Country, Duluth, and many neighborhoods throughout South Temecula. There are also luxury opportunities in portions of Central Temecula, particularly in communities with larger homes, views, and premium locations. Murrieta offers luxury opportunities as well, particularly in Bear Creek, La Cresta, Greer Ranch, and some other hillside communities. Both cities offer HOA and non-HOA options. Both have lower tax and higher tax neighborhoods. Both offer larger lots, acreage properties, and traditional suburban neighborhoods. And while both cities have new construction opportunities, neither offers the volume of new construction you'll find in nearby Menifee or Winchester. Now, I want to share the biggest mistake I see relocation families make. They choose based on a map instead of based on how they actually live. If your child attends a private school in South Temecula, that matters. If you're commuting to San Diego, that matters. If your child is involved in sports, robotics, art programs, or needs specialized support services, that matters. If you're trying to minimize time in the car every day, that matters. The families who seem happiest after they move here aren't necessarily the ones who picked Temecula or Murrieta. They're the ones who picked the area that supports the way they actually live. So who tends to love Temecula? People who want more activity, more entertainment, more dining options, wine country access, and often the South Temecula lifestyle. Who tends to love Murrieta? People looking for a quieter residential feel, access to both freeways, and especially those drawn to West Murrieta charm. But honestly, there isn't a winner. And that's what surprises most people. The best choice comes down to your priorities, your routine, your family, and the life you're trying to build. If you're thinking about relocating to the Temecula Valley and you're not sure where you fit, reach out. I'd love to learn more about your situation and help you narrow down the areas that make the most sense for your family. And don't forget to subscribe to my free weekly email, Temecula Valley Happenings with Catherine, where I share local events, community highlights, and what's happening around the valley. I would love to be your guide for all things Temecula Valley. We'll see you on the next video.